Hey, gang, you'll never guess what I heard in the news today.
What did you hear?
Well, apparently...
Like many young people of today, Billy likes to impress his friends with his knowledge of world affairs.
Oh, I'm so impressed by your knowledge of world affairs.
But young Billy is about to make a big mistake. You see, this morning, as always, Billy cast an eye over his social media feed, looking for the niftiest news.
Golly, this story's out of sight.
Look out, Billy. That interesting story might just be a fake.
Look at this.
What is this?
People create fake news for all sorts of reasons. Sometimes it's to make you laugh. Other times it's to influence your opinion or to make money by attracting your clique. Or sometimes they're just jerks. But repeating that fake news can make you look pretty silly.
Did you guys know that aliens from outer space built the pyramids?
Really?
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
Your friends could spread that fake news even further.
Hey guys, did you hear that the pyramids were actually built by aliens? You might have noticed fake news is having a bit of a moment.
CNN and MSNBC are fake news. Fake news. In Washington.
There's been a lot of talk about how made-up news stories can end up influencing the real world. And many agree that's a real problem. But did you know it's not a new one?
What does it say? The aliens built the pyramids.
For about as long as people have been communicating,
Well, there you go.
we've been using our tools of communication to tell great big whoppers. We can see evidence dating back thousands of years of leaders, artists and historians bending the truth to make themselves or their bosses look good, or to tell a better story.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Get your news here.
Eventually, the printing press came along, making it much easier to spread phony information.
Creatures found on the moon. Paper, sir.
You see, many newspaper owners realised they could sell more copies if the news was exciting, even if it wasn't exactly true.
Oh, penny, sir.
One famous example of this was the Great Moon Hoax of 1835. The New York Sun published a whole series of articles about creatures that had been found on the moon. Of course, it wasn't real, but it did drive up circulation. Then there was propaganda. During the First and Second World Wars, governments on both sides would exaggerate or downright make things up to make their enemies look bad.
What world? Ladies and gentlemen, the Mercury Theatre. Broadcast Orson Welles. We know now that in the early
Of
years
course,
of the
not
20th
all
century,
fake news was made to fool
the
people.
world was being watched closely by intelligences greater than man.
Some was made to entertain. Like in 1938, there was a very famous radio broadcast.
About their various concerns.
Orson Welles read an adaptation of the novel War of the Worlds live on air, presented as a fictional news bulletin. Afterwards, there were reports it had caused mass panic, with many listeners thinking aliens really were attacking.
Aliens are attacking!
The earth about their little affairs. Serene in the assurance of their
But
dominion
even
over
that
the small
fact was later found to be fake news. Most people knew it was just a story. Besides a group of people in a small US town who attacked a water tower because they thought it was an alien. Still, it's thought the panic story was grossly exaggerated by newspapers to discredit their new competitor,
intellect.
radio.
And welcome to television.
President Kennedy has been shot.
As the 20th century went on and TV joined the mix, journalism ethics evolved.
Nothing will save the Governor General.
Many governments created organisations to promote standards in journalism. And many media organisations built their reputations on telling the truth. That doesn't mean fake news went away, but it was often easier to spot. For instance, if you wanted to read stories about UFOs and Bigfoot, then you'd probably find them in a tabloid, like this. But if you wanted more accurate news, well, then you could try a more reputable broadsheet.
Oh my goodness! There's a sale on at Grace Brothers!
But then came the internet, and things got a little more complicated. All of a sudden, anyone could be a publisher. And with so much information out there, it could be hard to know what to believe.
I don't know who to believe anymore!
The internet, with its blogs, message boards and chat rooms, created the golden age of conspiracy theories, as people seriously speculated about celebrity lizard people, the Illuminati, and who really killed JFK.
Next, please.
Social media has kind of made things worse by letting us share stories without making it clear where they came from or if the source is reliable. Plus, we're more likely to see stories we already agree with, and we're more likely to believe them when they're shared by our trusted friends.
Wow.
That's a really serious problem.
Next, please.
Especially when it comes to political stories, which can influence the way people vote. There's been a fair bit of speculation about whether or not fake news could have affected the outcome of the 2016 US election. There were heaps of fake news stories doing the rounds during the campaign. In fact, near the end, it's thought fake news was being shared even more than real news. So, what about the future? Well, there's a real worry new technology will make the problem of fake news even worse. Imagine watching an interview or a speech and not knowing if you're seeing a real person or a super accurate animation. Yup, this technology is already being developed, which gives us even more reason to stay aware of fake news in all its sneaky disguises.
Gee willikers, this fake news stuff is completely bogus.
Don't worry, Billy. Here are some handy hints to help you spot fake news. Ask yourself, does the story seem a bit suspicious? Is it too good, too bad, or too crazy to be true? Then maybe it is. Don't just read the headline. They're often designed to suck you in, and sometimes they can be misleading. So read on. Dig a bit deeper. Find out where the story came from. Who's the author? Who are the sources? What website does it come from? Does it look professional and unbiased? Ask yourself who might benefit from the story, or who might end up looking bad. Is it actually news? Think about why the story was written. Could it be satirical, an opinion piece, or an ad in disguise? And if you're still not sure, try doing that thing you young people like to do these days.
Google it.
Yes, use your preferred internet search engine to see if you can find some more legitimate information. There are even some sites out there that specialize in debunking fake news. So kids, armed with these useful tips, hopefully you'll be able to tell the real deal from the nasty fakes next time.
What a dill I was.
Yes, you were, Billy.
Oh, my name's actually Sam.
Oh, Billy.